back to the corner.
Thank you for having me.
Nice to see you.
Yeah.
How's everything in Big D?
It's good. It's good. We're also floating away, kind of like
Yes,
Houston.
in fact, I think that the storm largely ignored us and took all the rain to visit you.
Oh, really? Yeah. Yeah, we've. I've never seen. I didn't realize that Dallas actually. I knew there was a Trinity River, but I'd never actually seen it until
It never has any water.
It never has any water in it. And 3 weeks ago, I drove across this bridge, and I mean it's full.
Wow.
And it kind of blew my mind.
That's amazing,
Yeah.
especially after all the drought Texas has
I know,
had.
it's crazy.
Incredible.
I think they need some in California at this point of our rain. So
every time we talk to anybody over there, they say, "Hey, how about?"
Yeah, sending a little bit our way.
I don't know how to do it. Well, you have just had a lot of success with the first release from your new album, and the new album is called?
It is self-titled. It's called Troy Cartwright.
So you figured you might as well put your name out there.
Yep.
Wow.
You only get one first full-length record, so I thought that was a appropriate name.
I think so too. Is Next Flight Home based on a story, or is it just something you thought about, or?
Well, when I first wrote it, I was in a long-distance relationship at the time.
Okay, so
that was kind of the story it was based on. But for me, I find that it's resonating with people quite a bit because there are a lot of people, especially in Texas, people who work in the oil business or something like that, who are away from home a lot, and so, being able to say, hey, if anything goes wrong, I can be on the next flight home, I think has kind of landed with some people, which is maybe why it's been successful.
Well, I think you're right, and what you say is so true. And so many Texans, we know there are a lot of Texans in Pennsylvania now. There are a lot of Texans in the Dakotas, and of course there are a lot of Texans in Midland, Odessa, and places like that too.
Absolutely.
So they're working, but it's nice when you have something that is your personal story, but also is many other people's story.
Absolutely, yeah, and one of the reasons we picked that single first was it had a little bit different sound than maybe some other stuff that was on the radio at the time. So, being the lead single off the new record, we kind of wanted to maybe differentiate myself just a little bit and be unique.
Smart.
So, yeah.
And one of the things that I have noticed over the course of the last 2 to 3 months, there is just suddenly this upsurge of really quality music in Texas. I mean, it's always pretty good, but suddenly, and very different sounding things, which is a nice contrast to Nashville.
Absolutely, yeah. Yeah, there's a lot of variety, and that's what I love about Texas. Texas music is, you've got bands like Uncle Lucius that are kind of pushing the edges of kind of the Americana sound, and then you've got people who are kind of like Mike Reiner giving you like the pop country stuff too, and it's all really good, and I think that's very unique to Texas, and I love that.
Yeah. So you went to Berkeley.
I did.
And it seems like about every third time I talk to anybody or hear an interview on the radio or anything, the person went to Berkeley. They really do introduce you to all kinds of music.
Absolutely, they do, and a lot of it is you get the theory side of it, which I was never really tuned into until I went up to school up there.
Yeah.
So that was cool. A lot of people say, "Oh, country music is 3 chords and the truth," but it's cool to kind of have those extra tools to take out and maybe add a little color to the song with a diminished chord or something.
No question about it. And I've noticed several people who are in like their second or maybe third year of really working full time at their music.
Yeah.
And you notice when the complexity in the music starts to occur and some more serious songwriting, and I know you're very serious about songwriting.
Yes.
Who do you consider to be your mentor in songwriting?
Ooh, that's a good question. I listen to a ton of music, and so in school there's a guy named Pat Pattison who's not necessarily a famous songwriter himself, but he's taught John Mayer was one of his students, Julian Welch, and just a lot of the guys in the Nashville songwriting scene and really in songwriting scenes everywhere. I'm sure there are guys in Texas too who he teaches seminars and stuff like that. And, I had a class with him, and I'd always written songs, but when I took this lyric writing class with him, it was like somebody flipped a switch, and I realized that lyrics were kind of what drives everything and what makes people latch onto a song, at least in the style of music that I do. And so that really kind of brought in, I just feel like I changed gears after that and started writing a lot more, and I think writing a lot more quality stuff that I'm proud of.
Do you think that doing it regularly is part of improving it?
Yes, I think, it's hard when you're on the road, like I have been the last few months, to write every day, which is what I was historically doing. So now I'm writing maybe just a few days a week instead of 7. But I think the consistency is key, and a lot of times it may not be, okay, today I can't sit down with my guitar and write a song, but as I'm driving down the road, I'm thinking about a part of a new song I'm working on, and like, okay, well, how can I switch these words around to make a clearer story or have a better impact? And so that's what I love. I'm in love with songwriting, and I think everything else is just trying to ensure that I can do that for a living. So.
Well, that's great, because in reality, I feel that songwriting is kind of like pitching. You know, there are plenty of teams, but there aren't many pitchers.
Right.
There are plenty of singers. There are a lot more singers than there are good songwriters.
Oh, yeah.
And they're so needed. The song is what matters.
Yeah.
And speaking of the song mattering, you have a new song that you're getting ready to release.
Yes, we are. We got a new single coming out called My Girl, parentheses, She's All Mine. And that's it's actually the first track on our new album.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I'm excited about it. It's
Good.
a little bit, it's a fun, summery type song.
It has kind of a soulful title.
Yeah.
Is it real country, or is it kind of just Troy Cartwright? That's special.
It's got kind of a more pop country vibe, I would say.
Well, it's summer.
But it's definitely, it's summer, and I mean, I think it's unique to me in a way. It's my story about my relationship with my girl,
and so people will be able to relate.
I think people can probably relate to that.
Great. Well, if I want to find out where you're performing or what you're doing or follow you, what do I do?
Just go to troycartwright.com, and it's all there. We got the tour stuff, and I'm really active on Instagram and Facebook, so it's just at Troy Cartwright. You can
What do
find
you
it
put
pretty
on
easily.
Instagram?
Oh man, everything. Like this morning was a picture of me and the dog before I left. I love dogs, so a lot of animal pictures.
Do you have dogs?
Yes.
What do you got?
I have a little rescue named Teddy.
Aw.
He's kind of a Shih Tzu mix. Not necessarily like a manly dog, I'll be honest with you.
Well, hey,
but
not
he's
every dog
sweet.
has to be a blue hound.
He's very sweet, and he's low maintenance, which is
That's the
nice. He
finest
doesn't.
kind.
You don't really have to walk him or anything. You just kind of got to feed him, make sure he can go to the bathroom. So that's good for somebody like me.
Yeah, because you're
Because
busy.
yeah, if I had I love labs. All I want in life really is a chocolate lab, but I don't think I can commit to the care of the animal at this point. So
Well,
I
good
have to
for
wait.
you, because that's a smart approach.
Yeah.
You're gone. He needs you there.
Exactly.
Don't get him.
Exactly.
Yeah. Well, thank you for coming in.
Well, thank you for having
And we
me.
look forward to My Girl.
Okay. Thanks, guys.